Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca, just in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and the cards I'm using are listed below if you want those details. Also, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into your choice. Hello Pisces, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Pisces? A double card right off the bat. That's not a bad thing. What is going on? What's going on? What is going on? You got the Ten of Swords at the bottom, but there's a lot of good cards here. So the Ten of Swords is typically devastation. So there might be something going on here that that's just not pleasant in some respect. So it's either there or it's not. This isn't going to be a reading that makes it happen. It's either there or it's not. Could be a job that you're like, I don't really like this job, but there's good aspects to it. Could be something like that. Could be somebody has left your life and this is the outcome from it or something like that. Could be somebody lost a job. It could be, the energy is like uncomfortable. The overall energy here, there's something uncomfortable going on here, and it's making you very unhappy that it's actually happening, but you are successfully handling it. This is something that I feel like probably showed signs that it was going to happen. It's weird that there's a lot of good cards here, but this underlying energy is so rough. It's very heavy. Whatever it was, it's been working its way in for a while. It could be a trigger. Maybe it's not happening directly to you. It could be triggering the situation around you. Something like that. I'm trying to center the energy a little bit more, but I don't know if it's going to let me because it could be something happening around this situation that's affecting you that's making you very uncomfortable. And you're just trying to do what you feel other people need you to do to get through it. I want to ground it more. I want to understand it a little better, but maybe because it's a general read, it's not coming in that way. Because I feel like I have to deal with whatever's happening, but I don't feel completely on the inside with it, but it's something that is affecting me. And what I mean by not on the inside with it, I don't feel like I can share how I feel about it. I don't have to do anything, but it feels like the way you're handling it is kind of like, I'm just trying to do what's expected just so I can get through this. And you are helping. You're very helpful. You seem to be very active in this situation, and you're very diplomatic. You're trying to help the situation get through. You're trying to help the situation move forward. You're trying to be very compatible, and you seem to be very connected with how other people feel. I get the keep moving energy going on here. You need help with that, I'll help you. Somebody needs to pick that up, I'll go get it. That's what I keep getting from this. I'm trying to pull the energy down, but it doesn't want to be pulled down. I feel like I just try to keep moving to get through it. Okay. I don't think it has to be super complicated, but there's something in this situation that's very uncomfortable that I'm just getting through it. How is this gonna is this gonna cause any damage or problem for Pisces? I don't want to downplay it. It is the Devil card and the Two of Cups reversed. Just gotta handle it, and it's not about liking it, is what partly is like. It feels like somebody else made decisions, or this happened already, something like that. I don't feel like I have the decision power to change anything. That's the Devil card, this is just what it is. And the Two of Cups reversed is kind of like, it doesn't make me feel good what happened, So like if, for example, if you had somebody close to you pass away or something, it may be one of those things where how you deal with it might be more private, but you're trying to help other people get through the situation without it getting worse, but not trying to make people feel anything. It's just kind of like, you need that, I'll do that. I can do that for you, I'll do this for you. You need me to be there, I will be there. You need me to stay away, I will stay away. You're just trying to figure out like what do you want me to do to make this easier? I keep getting this like I'm trying to be accommodating thing. I'm cringing at this because I'm a Pisces myself, and it's a fine line because it's kind of like we got to be careful not to sell ourselves short, but the same token I can understand, and I've done this. It's kind of like sometimes it seems like for a short period of time it can be helpful as long as it's not a way of life. If it's a way of life, that's where I'm cringing. I'm like, that's not a good way to be permanent. But there's certain times in life where it's like I'll just be what people want me to be just to get away from this, and then we can move on and I'll handle this privately. Depends. You got to decide for yourself what's right for you. I don't know. I feel like for short periods it's okay. It's when it's a way of life or it's constantly. That's not so good. Take it with a grain of salt. You know, search out a professional if you're having a struggle with that. I don't know what to say. It's making me real nervous because I'm like, I don't think of myself as any better. I've done this before and I've gotten way too used to it. So I'm like, that's why I'm cringing. I'm like, I can see where that can be like a little addictive, just trying to be what other people want you to be, just to let it pass by. There's a fine line. You got to be careful with it. And that's what I'm seeing in the center. You're doing what's right for other people. You also got your Ace of Pentacles here. As long as at the end of the day you have some time to yourself to really center and decide what you really feel, and to make sure that you're not accommodating to the point where you're constantly doing it and it's dragging your life down, there has to be a cutoff point. There's only so much. Some people would argue that that's really nothing you should ever do. You got to decide what's right for you. Sometimes it's just, I'm saying this as a Pisces, it's just kind of like, I just don't want to be in the middle of a problem. So I'm just trying to keep moving just so I don't get into the middle of a problem. Again, temporary, to me it makes sense. I'm not going to say everybody's going to agree with that. It's just when it becomes a way of life, it's more damage than anything else. So as long as you're stabilizing this later and you're kind of like, well, you know what, in this situation I don't feel empowered. I feel like I'm more accommodating than anything else. Maybe this isn't the situation for you. It's like if you feel like you can't have that power there to stand forward and you're constantly doing that, that might be the heads up on this one. I'm trying to bring that energy down. There's a lot of energy with this. Very interesting. There should be a point going forward where things stabilize, or if you have been accommodating, if this reading is hitting, where you realize that you can't keep doing this. All right, so we're heading this point anyway. There will be a point where it's just like, there's only so much I can do, and this needs to stop. I can't. It doesn't mean you have to confront anybody, or it shouldn't, hopefully. But it's kind of like, how do I set this down? How do I pull this down? How do I bring this energy back into balance? Maybe this is a reading where it already went out of balance. Maybe you got caught in that trap and you're like, I didn't want to do that. I just found myself doing it, and now I'm having a hard time getting out of it. Maybe that's what this is saying, because it's like, I keep cringing. I'm like, because I've done this myself, and it's, I don't know. I cringe at myself when I do that. So I'm like, James, come on, what are you doing? And this is something I've done too. They're saying this isn't going to help. If you isolate yourself away from the situation to stop it, that's not helping. It may seem like it's a solution. In this situation, it doesn't feel like it is. This is why I'm cringing. This is why I'm cringing so hard at this, because I'm like, I feel like I've gone down this path, and I can understand why a fellow Pisces would do it. I could totally see why. I can also see where it hasn't served me in the long run, but be careful of that. Another option, another way to handle this, is to just start saying no to things, but like saying, and not over-explaining. I feel like that's what's really gotten me in some snafus. That's not the right word to use for that. It's got me into some trouble, over-explaining, because you don't need to. If you can't, you don't need to explain why you can't. If they're really pushing, like, maybe you could give them suggestions of somebody else who can help them, but that's when maybe you want to kind of like say, hey, I can't I just can't. And if they want an explanation, be like, listen, I just can't. I just can't. If you've come to this part, this is another reason why I've been cringing the whole time, because this isn't good for boundaries. Being over accommodating to other people, that's not very good. Those aren't good boundaries. I feel like that's why the nerves are hitting me right now, because I'm like, I don't think I'm any better. I just don't. I do not. It's just one of those things. I feel like Pisces, a lot of us get stuck in this every now and then we try to pull ourselves out, and that becomes really hard. Be careful. Set your boundaries. You don't have to explain. If it's a no, you don't have to explain. Keeping the energy up, keeping the energy positive where applicable, and then just doing what's right for you is the better idea here. I feel like that's why I was cringing so much when I saw, like, it worked and it helped, and it's hard when you're like, people are appreciating this. It seems to be making the situation better. But then you kind of click into it like, wait, but this isn't good for me. Wait, I can't keep doing this. I got to stop this. And then realizing maybe I shouldn't have done it to begin with. But you did, and it helped. But it's kind of like, all right, I got to set up the boundaries. I got to adhere to my boundaries. I got to say no to some things. And I got to try not to explain, or at the very least not over-explain. Don't explain unless you feel like you absolutely have to, and that might be only if they ask. And then make it short and sweet and just be like, I just can't. I got other things going on. Don't over-explain. Do your best to not over-explain. Bring in those boundaries. It's better for you. It's better for the situation. The energy is tense. It's tense. But I'm getting whatever the situation is, you did do some good. You were helpful. It's not saying you had to do it this way. It's not saying that it was the right or wrong way to do it, but it's kind of like saying, if your boundaries seem like they're falling apart here, or you're not adhering to them, reset them up, and just, you don't have to explain your boundaries. You just need to have them and adhere to them. Have your own personal boundaries, hold them there. You don't have to explain having boundaries. Things will go forward. I feel like this is better for you and everybody else, honestly. The energy is like really pumped up, and I'm trying to bring it down, but it doesn't want to come down. It may be a very intense situation. You got the Ten of Swords here, so whatever's going on here, you did what you had to do, but it's like realizing, wait a minute, this isn't good. This isn't good for me or anybody else, especially you though. Get those boundaries back in play. You don't have to explain having boundaries. You just need to have them so you can have a healthy life. It will be better for you and for everybody else. Whatever this situation is, the energy should pass, and if this is a good situation for you, if the situation is a good one, people should understand boundaries, that's a good thing. If there will be probably people around this that still want to break your boundaries. If they do, it's kind of like seeing them for who they are. Seeing them for who they are, because like having boundaries is a good thing. Adhering to your own boundaries is a great thing. People who constantly just don't want to respect that, maybe you just need to see who they are so you can kind of reevaluate what connection they have to your life, and do they really need to have that connection to your life? Can you realign them in your life in a way where they don't have the ability to even approach trying to change that? What is this card? Oh, New Beginnings. Ace of Cups coming in with the New Beginnings is like something new coming into your life, some new positive energy. Holding your boundaries, ironically, should be attracting something different into your life, more positive. It doesn't have to mean a total shift. So like, for example, if you're working at a certain company, you're like, does this mean I'm going to have to leave this job for a whole new company? No, but it may actually move you into a position where you're gravitating towards around other people who are also, not only do they have their own boundaries, but they respect people who hold their boundaries, and they want you to be a part, because it's like, we hold our boundaries, we see that you do the same, so we want you with us, and we can all, back each other up and make sure we hold each other, help each other hold our boundaries as long as we hold our own. It's very much about boundaries. I keep getting that. There's a lot of energy. Like, there's a lot of energy here. I recently had a different reading where the energy was very pumped up, And there might be a lot of excitement here, or there might be a lot of activity going on here. So, like, if I just want to nutshell this, there was a point where probably you were over-accommodating, and it made sense for the time, but they're saying we got to kind of put that down. Remember our boundaries. Hold our boundaries. We don't need to over-explain that. There may be a shift in who's around you because of that. Let that happen. I think that's the short answer. Let that happen and let better energy come into your life. Things may shift, but that may be for the best. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.